So I will say my ego, I checked that at the door immediately when I walked onto the mat.
Humility happens almost every class for me. You definitely learn patience and practice it, because when you're sparring, you know, you can't just automatically go for something that's not there. So
learn pretty quick how to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Obviously, the physical aspects of it are the first things that people point out. I'd say it more gears towards the mental side of things, right?
it's a mental challenge, just because you know, while you're drilling, you see the demonstration and then you're like, okay, what do we do? Yeah, I think my first few classes, like I was just going 100 miles an hour and all of a sudden I'd be gassed, and Raf's like, breathe. And I'm like, I'm trying.
My name is Nate Kiser. I'm a brown belt at Houzn Jiu Jitsu. I've been training for 13 years now. Raf has been my Jiu Jitsu coach since day one. I grew up my entire life playing hockey. I was a professional hockey player for 8 years. When I retired from hockey as an athlete, I still felt like I had a little more left in the tank, something to give. Mixed martial arts, I'd always been a huge fan of. I'd never trained before. Fighting was a big part of my job when I played hockey, so it kind of naturally carried over in that aspect. And that's what drew me in, was the challenge. As an athlete, I wanted to do something.
My name's Scott Romfo, originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was a former professional athlete, South Carolina Stingrays. Played 1 year overseas in Europe. I played defense, and Nate Kiser was my D partner, so we always kind of joke that I protected him, but obviously that's pretty untrue.
That transition, so being a professional athlete and then transitioning into a new sport, a lot of humility. I was humbled pretty quickly. The thing that drove me in hockey and got me to where I was, it certainly wasn't talent, it was my work ethic. I always felt like anytime I walked into the room, I was the hardest worker. If I wasn't, I was gonna do the best that I could to be the hardest worker and wherever I'm at. So I applied that over to jiu-jitsu and in my mixed martial arts training too as well.
The toughest part of the transition was, in hockey, there's 5 guys on the ice. Even though you have 5 people out on the ice, you hope the other 4 or your D partner can bail you out if you're in a tough spot. I think the most challenging thing about this is, if I got tired in hockey, I could jump off the ice if it was appropriate. And out here, if you're sparring and you're tired, no one's coming to rescue you. So if you learn patience and develop technique, I think that, you know, you can kind of pick your spots when the time's appropriate. So
how are these guys doing this? What techniques are they using? How can I apply this to my game? What am I doing wrong? How can I correct this? And just try to be a sponge and learn as much as I could. That was an easy transition for me. Be humble, be open to ideas. They may see something that you don't, and it's good to get a set of fresh eyes on it, and always be open to listening. Worked extremely hard. I became obsessed with it, extremely dedicated to it.
Once you retire from high-level competitive athletics, you know, I felt like I was looking for something or needing something. Back in the day, if you would have asked me in my 40s I was going to start a new hobby, probably I would have said no to, but it's been an awesome experience so far. So
I can weather the storm, I can gain my composure, and I can do a good job of technically staying sound, or I can just tap. You don't want to be that guy.